Well, it looks like Greg and Vinod, who are usually the two other people who consistently come to this meeting, are both busy. So
Mhm.
um, I only had one thing on the agenda. I figure we can go ahead and get started.
Okay.
So the only thing that I had to propose was we had a quarterly docathon a little while back for Mesos, hosted at Mesosphere. It was on October 12th. And in order to make it quarterly, it has to be recurring. So I was going to propose a date of January 11th. So it'd be like every 3 months on the second Thursday of the month.
Okay. Sounds good.
Um,
Yeah.
Good. Have you been to any of the community meetings, community working group meetings before?
I have been to like, I think one or maybe two.
Okay.
Maybe two,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Did you have anything you wanted to bring up?
No, I just wanted to actually like check out what was going on in the community because I didn't actually, I think, log in a while.
Mm.
So just wanted to get an idea.
Yeah, I think we have a couple of things going on, but probably everybody's. Oh, it's Greg. Hi,
Hi,
Greg.
Greg.
Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
I'm all right. How are y'all doing?
Good. Um, yeah, I was just going to read off our action items from last time, but since you're here, you could give us an update.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, I don't really have an update about the newsletter this time. I was hoping to, but I didn't get a chance to work on it, so I will make that happen before the next meeting.
Cool.
And I think that's all I had to.
Did you talk to
Oh,
Vinod about?
I
Yeah.
did not. So I chatted with Ben Mahler about this.
Mhm.
And the
Uh,
point that Ben raised was that,
Wait,
and
for Kapil and everybody in the who's might be watching the recording, the thing we're talking about is a review working group.
yeah, so we were talking about having a regular working group when committers and or contributors could meet to discuss current pending reviews so that we could just help people make progress on reviews and not let them go stale.
Got it.
And I think that well, what Ben Mahler said and what I tend to agree with is that we should establish what the current situation is, like how many reviews do we have kind of languishing and sitting there, so that we know what we're trying to improve precisely, and we'll be able to tell when it is improved.
Yeah, that
Um,
sounds good.
because that kind of a meeting would really be beneficial if there were reviews falling through the cracks that weren't already getting attention from a committer. Like if there's already a committer engaged with the contributor involved, then those meetings might not be, like if it's just the fact that people don't have time and they're already engaged with the contributor, then such a meeting might not help that much. But if we have a situation where there are kind of scattered reviews that don't have an established, like where there isn't an established working relationship between the contributor and the committer, then a meeting like that might help facilitate those interactions.
Yeah,
So we were thinking if we characterize the types of reviews that we have unaddressed, it might help us better understand if that meeting would be useful.
yeah, so that's possible. When I first joined, there used to be like internal Mesos meetings about the community, like internal to Mesosphere. Um, and we kind of, in those meetings, went through the review backlog. And it seemed to me like the issue was that lots of the committers, at least the ones that worked at Mesosphere, um, didn't really have the bandwidth to review things because their workload was too high. And so I talked with, I think with Ben and Artem about getting more time allocated for reviewing PRs, and they both they said yes, but then the issue was that nobody really carved out that time, and so it got eaten up by other things anyway. So I think the thought that I had for this meeting was that it's not so much about like holding people accountable to whether or not they've reviewed their reviews, but just carving out a defined amount of time to actually work on them. Yeah, so I was thinking it would be less of like a check-in meeting and more of an actual like, let's work on this now for 1 hour a week because this is your time to work on it, or however often it was, or however much time it was we could carve out for it.
Yeah. And that may be beneficial. I think the amount that you could really get done, like that strikes me as something that would be useful for smaller tickets. Something that's more involved, like that amount of time might not be sufficient, but maybe it would serve to just to keep the issue moving and like keep work occurring on it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't imagine that anybody would be able to like get through a review of a feature in an hour or however much, but
yeah. So maybe we should try to do a little survey of what the current state of review board is.
Yeah, I think the Node had a report on that, didn't he?
Well, we had some numbers a while back, but at least the last time I saw anything, it was maybe a year ago or 9 months or something. So I would expect that information to be stale.
Okay, yeah. So I guess at this point, we're kind of trying to get back to where we were just from an information standpoint, like where we were.
Yeah, I guess so.
Kapil, do you have thoughts on that? Like what might hold up reviews, how people work on reviews, stuff like that?
I think historically it's been just one of those things where no one had like enough cycles to ensure that the backlog is not much.
Kapil?
I think we have been struggling with that for about like 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah, so my hope is to carve out time.
Yeah, also I think that's what we try to do with the shepherding approach, so that you know that there's at least
Hey,
one
Judith,
guy.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yeah, Greg.
Yeah, I think the shepherding of the Jiras was one of those things which was trying to address the initial concerns around reviewing. So I think that is, but still it's still a lot of work to do, I guess.
Yeah, and I think the issue is that like, even if, yeah, it just seems like a difficult thing.
Yep.
I'm slacking, Greg. Cool. Okay, so Greg, can you hear us?
I think he's offline now.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to assign this to him.
Okay. Oh, and he's back.
Great.
Hey, Greg, can you hear us?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Hi. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello. We hear you.
Okay, I can't hear you guys. Not sure what's up. There you go. I can hear you again.
Yay. Awesome.
Sorry, guys. I don't know what that was.
No problem. I just assigned you to figure out the current state of review board.
Okay. In terms of actually gathering data, if I'm going to work on the newsletter, I don't imagine I will get a chance to do that.
Okay. Do you want me to try and ask the node what he had before?
So there was a script that Nick had created a long time ago that would just actually fetch the status for all the active Jira items, active review board items, mostly in terms of how long they have been sitting there and so on. I'm not sure where that script was hosted though.
Okay, Nick, which Nick?
Oh, Nicholas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll ask him about that. Nick's son, right?
No, Nicholas Nielsen.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh,
My bad. I should have, yeah.
EI or IE? I'll look him up.
I'm not sure.
I think it might be in one of the Mesosphere repos, but we can check.
Okay, Greg, can you check on that or should I try and track him down? I don't know, Nick.
Yeah, I'll try to track it down if I can find the script. So Nicholas himself is not active in the project anymore, but I'll see if I can find the script.
Great, awesome. Perfect. Because that would save a lot of work.
Yeah, we're about to.
Cool. So once we find out the state of the review board, is the next step to just like meet with people and see? I mean, I assume that there's going to be a giant backlog. I assume we haven't gotten better at reviewing things than we were a couple months ago.
What was that, Judith?
I'm gonna go ahead and assume that when we find out the status of review board, that what we're gonna find is that the backlog is the same or larger than it used to be. Is that a reasonable assumption?
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you need to look at the numbers. It might be that the number of contributions have also slowed down in the last couple months.
Mm.
It's not been increasing probably. We have to see the numbers to get a sense of that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll wait on that then. Greg, the other thing that I brought up was that I want to do the Docathon on January 11th, the next one, because we were going to try and do them quarterly.
Cool. That's great.
Sweet. I sent out an email, so hopefully people will respond to it and say, yes, that's great.
Awesome. Thanks, Judith. I will make sure to reply on that thread.
Cool. Anything else to discuss?
Have we talked about the newsletter?
Yeah, no progress
Okay.
since last time. Yeah, I'll try to have an update for next time.
Okay. Nothing else from me.
Yep, nothing from me.
Okay, great. In that case, thanks, guys. And we will meet again, I think, in 2 weeks. And have good Thanksgiving holidays.
Sounds good. Thanks, Judith.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.